Look at
Well,
that beautiful camera you've got there compared to mine.
yeah, I think that I probably should have a camera that's not so clear.
If you don't mind.
Maybe we could get like a little mask or something on there. What's that thing where they put on the beauty face you can do on the camera? Maybe I need a little beauty
Oh,
face.
filter.
Hey there, welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the premiere episode of Street Badass 10. This is where we talk to a photographer about 10 of their favorite photos. And so our guest today is the one and only Danny, known as Barksy on Instagram.
Hello.
How you doing, Danny?
Yeah, good, thank you. Look at
Well,
that beautiful camera you've got there compared to mine.
yeah, I think that I probably should have a camera that's not so clear.
If you don't mind.
Maybe we could get like a little mask or something on there. What's that thing where they put on the beauty face you can do on the camera? Maybe I need a little beauty
Oh,
face.
filter. Yeah.
Beauty face filter. I think this thing actually has it. I turned it off, but I
Oh
did
yeah.
think about I thought about it for a second. So get on there with some beauty face. So I'd imagine you have more than 10 photos that you like. What made you, was it hard to come up with 10?
It was actually, yeah, it was hard. It was I tried to sort of vary, the different styles I use and the different things I do, try and get at least one of each, and maybe from a couple of series as well. I tried to use photographs from series I've done. So yeah,
Okay,
it was
great.
quite a difficult task.
So let's go ahead and see if we can start here. And here's the first one. I actually know this picture is one of my favorites of yours as well. Bad Santa. Can you tell us a little bit about how Bad Santa came along?
Yeah, so this one, this was just off the Strand. So he's standing in front of a building the other side of the road. So I actually used a zoom lens on this one. I think that's what that blur is on the side. And I saw him from right across. So you got about 4 lanes of traffic, and then a bit of path. And I was coming up. I actually took a walk with you once as we were coming up to the Strand from the river, and we go
Uh
up the
huh.
hill, don't we? And
Right, right.
got right to the top. I could see him, and he was with a group of blokes. And I thought, I've got to get this shot. But it was so obvious that I was taking this shot because there was no one around me. So I'd been just standing right in the middle. And at the time, this is about 3 or 4 years ago, I weren't going up to people right in their faces or anything like that. Not that I do that much now either. But I got my son to stand in front of me as if I was taking a shot of him, and then I was actually pointing the lens behind,
Very
just
tricky.
off his head. So that might actually be my son's head. That bit of shadow on the side there is
Little
possibly
maybe a
my son's
little piece of hair or something coming in there.
head. Yeah, yeah. But I got him. He was just asking to be photographed. Really, the light was right, and yeah, he just looked like a perfect character for me at the time. I was going for characters, and yeah, it all come together on that one. So I was
You,
really
you know
pleased.
what you know what I think is really cool about it. I think if you that part where you say that excuse me, as you can see, we're going to do a little editing maybe. One thing that I really like about it, I think the part where you pointed out that that was your son, maybe in there, I think actually adds to the picture, and it puts like the creep factor up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe like you're kind of peeking out from somewhere.
I'd like to see the eyes. I'm thinking maybe if he took the sunglasses off, there is actually no eyes. You know, just skin.
I'll be back. All right,
Yeah,
that's Bad Santa. Let's go to number 2 here.
yeah. So this was taken at Comic Con this year. It's the first time I've ever been Comic Con. My daughter wanted to go, so I thought actually this would be quite cool for street photography. And I was looking all day for shots, and it's quite hard. It's all indoors. there's lots of people about, so it's hard to, too many people really to get shots inside. But when I come out, I saw this, and I like the idea that they're both sort of Peter Parker, and one's Peter Parker without the costume, one's Peter Parker with the costume. It's just the fact that they're exactly poised in the same manner, both looking at their phones, both leaning up against the post. I don't know. I just like this shot. People seem to like it as well, but I can't really put my finger on why. I think it's just a bit of a weird situation. It's almost like the bloke could be like an office bloke, and then he's just standing next to Spider-Man, and he don't know, or it could be that they're both Peter Parker, or a few different things there.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because I think a lot of these Comic Con ones, if you go there and you talk to them and you want to take their picture, they kind of, they do this and that, which is fine sometimes because even if they're outside, it still looks kind of weird. But the fact that they're like looking at their phone and kind of like the one guy just looks like a regular guy checking out his phone, but then there's Spider-Man next to it is really trippy in a way.
Yeah.
Great shot,
It
Danny.
make you wonder whether they even realise they're standing next to each other, or
and the fact that the guy on the phone isn't even like noticing that there's a Spider-Man next to him. You wonder if he like looks up from his phone, goes,
or he could be talking to Spider-Man. They could be FaceTiming each other.
Yeah, where are you? I'm leaning on a pole. Me too. You could do a comedy sketch out of it.
It's worth a go if anyone wants to go down Comic-Con. It's good. It's a good place to go for street photography.
Those are pretty good. Great shot, Danny. It's number 3.
So this was actually taken at a meetup we only done like a couple of months ago, which turned out to be great. Like about 50 people came in the end, and we just walked all around London. And then I had to move my car because there was a rail strike, which could have meant more people came. But I had to move my van. I was in a van. I was driving everywhere for about a good 40 minutes trying to find a parking space near Piccadilly Circus, which is almost impossible. I don't know why I even tried. So I ended up parking quite a long way and then running back. And then everyone had been waiting for me, including you. And then finally I got back and we walked off to the next, wherever we were going. And we all walked past these two. And I just looked back because I was looking back to see if there was, see if the group had all moved. And then I spotted these two. And it's quite rare to get like a shot of two people that are like proper going for it, like obviously deeply involved with each other. And trying to actually, I took about 10 shots of this, just like click, 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 click. And that one worked out like the best out of all of them. I quite like in the background as well. You've got like an exchange between two people on the
right there.
billboard
Very
as well.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
kind of mirroring,
sort of that one.
Almost like an animation, like that was them before, and now they're even closer.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah,
great
cheers.
job, Danny. Let's go number 4 here. Nice.
Right, so this is a project I'm working on at the moment, which is with the Orthodox Jewish Community in Canvey Island, because a big group have moved over to Canvey, and it's taken a while, but I've sort of I've gotten in there, and I can go there and take pictures, and they're okay with me. And this was it's called the Giving of a Torah, I think it was called. I might be wrong on that, but it was like one of their community bought a Bible, a copy of the Bible that was handwritten by someone, so like a big scroll, and they celebrate it. So they bring the Torah into the community. In this case, it's actually in a school. So the background, that's a school hall, but that is their community centre as well, like now. And I really wanted to capture sort of the movement and the dancing. And at first, when I was going through my shots, I saw so much blur, and I was like, "Oh, damn!" But then I sort of decided that's actually what I wanted. I quite liked it. So there's a few images like this, and this is one of them. I quite like the idea, you know, the fact that there's quite a few that aren't dancing. None of them are looking at the camera either. They're sort of just looking at what's going on around them. So
I think that the blur on the guys in the background turned out like amazing. Like this guy right by the hands, where the hands are kind of touching each other. This guy, that's just like the best. It's almost like outer worldly or something. It catches that movement really super well.
yeah.
I love this shot.
Thanks.
That
Thanks
had
a
to
lot.
be a lot of fun, man.
It was a bit of a dream come true, really, because I've wanted it's since they've moved here. I've wanted to do a project involving them, and I've done Purim in Stamford Hill, and I want to continue that, but maybe here this time. But this one was great. It was a real buzz to do, and honestly, that music was playing for the whole 2 hours repeatedly, and I could still hear it 2 days later in my head. No wonder they get so worked up and they
That's how
dance.
they pull you in, Danny.
Yeah, it really does. It's like hypnotizing.
All right, great job, man.
Right, so this shot was from the London Colour Walk, which I go to regularly. It's really good for people who want to take portraits, really, who enjoy taking portraits of people. So in the fact that a street portrait, you go up to a random person and ask them, this is a little bit less like that. You still ask the people and you still like set up a shot. So really, this isn't a street shot really, but it's a shot that I like. I like the eyes. I like her expression. She's not smiling. She's supposed to be a clown, a sad clown. She's an interesting person. It's all her own. You know, she does all her own makeup, and she's an artist anyway. And her name's Grace Mill. And brilliant.
Now I might just be seeing this because I want to see it, but it kind of looks like the hat matches her eyes.
It does. It does. And I won't lie, I did bring the eyes out a little bit because I saw that as well. And she has got green eyes, but I tried to pull the green out a little bit more.
Nice.
You've got to be so careful with the eyes though, because you do it and then you're like, whoa, you've obviously done the eyes, but I try and like tone it down very, very low, so it's just a tiny touch of it. But yeah, I was really pleased with this one, and this is a shot that some people have asked to get a copy, and they put them up on their wall and things like that, which is always, it's always a nice thing.
It's always a popular theme for a picture on the wall, the sad clown.
It is actually, yeah, through the years, yeah, it's like a modern day.
But it's a modern day sad clown, so well done. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. Got some little queens.
Yeah, so I talked about this with you a little while ago. The Orthodox Jewish Community. This was in Stamford Hill, and this before a colour walk. I found out it was Purim, and I actually diverted a little bit, but only about 20 minutes out of my way, and I had about an hour. So I went around the streets just looking for shots, and then I saw loads of kids just running around all in outfits, and one day a year they get to dress up, and they really go for it. So yeah, I found these queens, which I loved. So I took about, I don't know, 25 different portraits of different sets of kids, but this is my favourite. It's a shame that there's a little bit of out of focus on the two women, the two girls at the back. But in a way, it sort of brings the little one to the forefront anyway, and the focus is on her, which I suppose it should be, because she's the funniest looking one, like with her expression.
I also like the fact that the dresses are all very different colors like that, and
they're very bright,
all one color too, instead of like maybe being multicolored or some kind of pattern. So they do look very regal, you have to say.
Yeah, they do. And really, for the passing of the Queen recently, I think they'd done it because it was a Jubilee year as well. but obviously she died this year as well, so it makes it sort of extra special in a way.
Nice tribute to the Queen.
Yeah.
Great job, Danny. Here's some child abuse.
Yeah. So I'm not going to hide the fact that this is my wife and my daughter. This isn't just a random find in a park, which would have been pretty amazing. I was shooting them mucking around with the ball. I was also kicking the ball and mucking around as well, but I just had the camera around my neck, and I just caught this one, and it's worked out. It's okay. Again, it's not really. Is it a street shot? I'm not sure if it is, because it's one of my family, but it wasn't set up. It just happened, but I just happened to have the right sort of lens and the right sort of shutter speed going, and caught it. So it's one of my favourites because it's got two people I love in it, and this shot's sort of done the rounds a little bit. It got picked up by a few hubs and things like that, so it's always nice to see. And my daughter actually likes this shot, which is good.
The other thing that's kind of cool about it, and I wouldn't worry about whether or not it's like classically street. Street can kind of be an attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. But it does have that attitude.
Yeah. Oh, it's just one of those shots that I think sometimes you'll see like a family shot that'll just be funny and it'll do the rounds on the internet. And you'll see it, and okay, not strictly street maybe, but it's a shot that you get something from. And this, I suppose for me, this was one.
Well done, buddy.
Yeah, so I've been doing weddings for a while, and this was at a wedding, and this is actually at a wedding of one of my relations. So this is my cousin's wedding, and I got up on the stage and danced because I was quite drunk, to be honest with you, and
really,
then I jumped off like in a pretty cool fashion. I got like a round of applause and a few woos and stuff like that because it was amazing. And then that's my mum. So my mum decided to do it, but she's wearing high heels, and actually there's another two more steps there at the bottom. And so she jumped, and she did come down pretty hard. She come down, and luckily she was all right. But I caught her jumping, which I liked. Yeah,
might be one of the best wedding shots ever.
Yeah,
I like the fact that you got it with the flash too. Great shot, Dan.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, so this is a series that I've been doing with my daughter and my nan. And my nan's 92. My daughter at the time was 9. She's 10 now. And I did like a series of shots. They were supposed to be that they were having like a day out together, and she was doing lots of the things my daughter likes to do, and sort of their adventures together. I'm still sort of working on it a little bit because it's not quite there, but I like this one, and I did ask my nan just to pull some funny faces as if she don't know what she's doing, but it was pretty easy because she really didn't know what exactly I was doing either. She didn't really know what was going on, so yeah.
You said she's 92?
She's 92, yeah.
She's looking pretty good for 92.
You know what she is? This isn't the most flattering picture of her, but she does look good for 92.
Got it together for 92. Let's hope we make it that far, right? Great job, Danny. Let's take a look at the next one here.
Yeah, so this one is part of This is Essex, which is a series I've been working on for quite a few years now. And it came from the like COVID. I sort of started grouping shots together, and I started making the series. And we had the biggest. That's the biggest container ship in the world, because we've got a port down the road from us that can take those container ships. I think that might be a Chinese ship, HMM, and my daughter had gone with me to look at the ship, so we hadn't decided to make this sort of photograph, but then it goes past pretty quick. But once you've seen it, it's pretty, you've seen it, it's done. So I started mucking around, and I thought, oh, maybe I can sort of try and get the ship on the skateboard. So, and that's what I've done. Yeah. So and that come out pretty good. Although I've noticed I had to jack up the aperture to f. I think I did it f22 maybe, right up, so that everything stayed in focus. But my camera's not the cleanest, so it hasn't come out perfect. I need to clean it a little bit more. Although I think this isn't the best picture of it really. But anyway,
I think that turned out great.
cheers.
And you can see that, you know, what's really cool is it's the largest container ship in the world, but in this photo it sits on a skateboard.
It sits on a skateboard, yeah. And some people actually, I've had people that don't understand. They just think it's a little ship on a skateboard. It's a toy. I've had a couple of people say it, and I've had to explain. No, there's ships in the water. It's pretty obvious, I think.
Well done, Danny.
Oh yeah, it's bigger.
Well, look at that. I can make them bigger. So sorry about that, Danny. I guess we could have had that bigger. Is that the last one?
That's the last 10. Yeah, so we've done 10.
Wow.
I enjoyed that.
So that was pretty good.